Okay, Jatin, you want to go ahead and introduce this episode?
Yeah, sure. So, welcome everyone to the season finale, is what we're calling it, just because, just because,
just cause we can.
just because we can. So, season finale. I think we've had a pretty fun season one with over 10 episodes. Uh, and I was just so happy that we covered maybe like 60 artists. I think 60 independent artists.
Really? 60?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
a lot of artists.
Pretty, yeah. I mean, close to that. If you take into account the Musicmandir, featured artists also, and we're also working on like a kind of an artist network of sorts. So people who want to scan through or find latest releases from artists across India, there's some kind of place where you can find one, and yeah, that's the introduction. And so today's episode, we figured we're gonna pay some respect and some thoughts towards anime culture and anime music. Me personally, having zilch knowledge of anime, but we have other experts. Shravani being
Expert.
Shravani being pretty knowledgeable in anime, and Akash also having
I don't know shit. I don't know shit.
But you do know quite a bit
Yeah.
of Japanese and
Yeah.
Japanese culture. So I think we should now open up the conversation to anime.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Shravani? What's cooking, man?
Okay. Okay, so I think all of us have seen anime like when we were kids, no? Like our first exposure to anime was like Pokemon, which is by the way an anime. And have you guys seen that? Of course you have. when you were kids.
I've just played the cards. I haven't seen Pokemon.
Yeah.
Never
So
seen
it started out as a game only. Yeah, you were saying, Akash?
No, I haven't really seen I've like seen a few episodes and all, but I don't know the story arc and the mythology behind it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it started out as a game, like I think Nintendo owns Pokemon, and then they made like an anime out of it. And I don't know, I think you guys are from a different generation because then our generation was like crazy behind Pokemon and
Wait, what generation
Beyblade
are we
and
talking
Naruto
about?
and all that. Okay, are we
Jeez,
going
how
into
old
that?
are we?
Is this
I'm-
i3, i7 generation talk happening now? Like,
Okay, so the generation I grew up in watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, watched a lot of
that also,
Mask
yeah.
Cartoon
and,
Network, yeah.
and Swat
So
Cats, right?
Cartoon Network only used to broadcast Pokemon, dude. Every day at 5 o'clock, all of us used to like run because it's 5 o'clock and watch Pokemon.
So wait,
Don't you
what did
okay?
they show? So Pokemon is this whole, like, all these characters, right? Like I
Yeah.
remember like the cards, and then so what's the story of Pokemon? They all fight, or like what's happening?
No. So Pokemon is actually like pocket monsters, okay, in Japanese. And then
Oh,
now, like, they made it Pokemon. Like, they're called Pokemon now.
okay.
Okay,
Bet you
and
didn't
then
see that coming.
I had
yeah,
no
like
idea.
pocket monsters.
Dude, now it makes like a lot of sense. Like my mind's
Yeah,
blowing
right?
right now.
Fuck.
So it's like, it's really cool world. And I think that was like the very first exposure to anime that I had. And then nothing for 10 years, right? Because then we got old and shit. And then there is this notion that cartoons is just for kids, and then nobody saw
Yeah,
cartoons after
that's
a point.
bullshit. Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sense.
but like, true. And a lot of people still believe this, by the way. But
Yo, no,
animes,
I sincerely don't think like people believe. Like, see, if
no,
if
they
you,
do.
no, I'll tell you how it goes. Okay, so wait, you have to like name and shame if you know someone
Acha.
who
Oh,
believes
dear.
cartoons.
Are we doing that?
You should, because I'll tell
Yeah,
you
go
like
for it.
I'll tell you how it goes, right? Like, so we're all like
Yeah.
huge cartoon fans, and then you have kids, and then when like, how do you dissuade a kid? You can't tell a kid cartoons amazing because then they'll watch all the time. So that's when you change to saying maybe cartoons not like that crazy. But then
Do your parents watch cartoons?
they don't, but like they don't say
Yeah,
cartoons
that's
is
why.
like bad, because like I've seen my
Yeah,
dad
they won't say
sometimes.
that.
I've seen my dad sometimes stuck on a channel, like, and it's Donald Duck, and he's just like,
Really?
he just wants to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
how it ends. Like, I think that everyone wants to see like what happens. Like there are very few people who, while some scene of a cartoon is happening, like they'll change. Like they have to be like heartless people. Like if
Yeah,
mid scene, if someone just changes, like those people are dangerous, man. Like how do you just change like that?
How do you not finish the
like
story?
yeah,
Yeah,
like go back, man. What's wrong with you?
yeah, man. So,
But
but there are
Cartoon
people like
Network,
this.
like, yeah, like sorry, like, but Cartoon
Yeah,
Network
yeah.
really ruined it when, like, they started
Afterwards, no?
no, they started the
Yeah.
whole mini cartoon bullshit, which were like the
What?
kids of the main cartoons. Because
Eh,
it
no,
was
no,
kind
no. That was kind of that kind of
that
sucked.
was really bad. So
Like
there was
it
a Tom and
ruined the whole
Jerry,
thing.
and then there was a Tom and Jerry Kids, which was the children of like the
Yeah,
Tom and
yeah.
Jerry.
That was
It's
damn weird.
and Jerry Kids, Tom and Jerry Kids. I remember that song. I remember a lot of these fucking.
That's when I was like, I need to grow up. Like, this is
Ayo.
getting weird.
तू बदल गई है
Yeah,
रे
yeah.
चिंकी.
But see, I think we're getting confused between like cartoons and anime.
True. No, no, but I'll tell you why. Because anime is not some like exclusive genre. Okay. Now people think it is, but originally in Japan, anime just means animation or like cartoons. Okay.
Okay.
And only like after a while when Studio Ghibli came up and they globalized anime, people started looking at it as a separate genre. So now we confuse it with like anime as in Japanese style cartoons or
But
one
wasn't it
specific style.
already like a specific genre like in Japan?
No, no, no. No, 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 it was not. So anime comes from manga, right? And manga is like comics that people draw
Yeah.
by hand, like
Yeah.
in many styles actually. And
Yeah.
this one specific style, I think, got picked up and evolved a lot more than others. Even if you look now, each anime will have its own style. But if we look on a broader like view, they look similar. Like they have a particular style.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's not like anime is not cartoons. It is cartoons. But now we see it in a different way because it's been like globalized so much. And which is really amazing because it actually broke this whole view that adults can't watch cartoons or they're not made for adults. Like Donald Duck and all that, you can watch it as kids and adults, but it's not targeted at adults, no. So anime is like the storylines, the subjects that they cover. It's not something kids can watch. It's like really violent and gruesome stuff anime makes, which is awesome. But I mean, you can't have kids watching.
Yeah,
it.
like if you write somebody's name on a diary, they'll die. Like that's just fucked up. No
Yeah.
kid would want it.
It's so cool. Have you seen Death Note?
Parts of it sometimes. Also saw a horrible
Yeah.
movie called Death Note, which was derived from the
The
cartoon.
anime.
Obviously, the Netflix one was bad. I thought it was like no intensity.
There's a movie, really. I don't know that.
Yeah. But it's
There's a
got William
movie.
Dafoe as the. I don't know the names. No disrespect, but I don't know the monster, the god of death or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has played by William Dafoe, and that was very interesting.
Yeah. So I think a lot of these people are making these films out of anime which don't work because.
So which is
I
your
mean,
favorite
the
anime
whole-
of all time?
Okay, this is a very difficult question, but I was introduced to like adult anime, if you call it that. Not adult anime, like grown-up anime. I don't know.
Isn't adult anime
Whatever.
like hentai?
No, yeah, that is different. Okay,
Yeah,
we can talk
that's-
about that also afterwards.
Kombina shikaba, stigawa. Fuck, they are so funny, dude. Octopus
Yeah,
porn
it
and
is
shit
so
like that.
good.
It's like, yo.
Dude,
It
that
is
is
so good, by the way. Hentai is like really good quality porn. Okay, it is so good. It has such good storylines, and you can do so much with animation you can't even like do in reality.
But that's-
Yeah, like you cannot get an octopus to fuck a 17-year-old girl in real life.
Ah,
Like,
exactly.
that's very obvious.
Exactly.
No, but it's
Yeah.
also you can't watch a lot of that, man. Like it gets. I mean, once in a while is like fine because you can only like what
I think
you can
that's
only-
subjective.
it's
I love how Jatin goes like, once in a while it's fine. Like every time I watch porn, like 1 out of all the 10 porn views of mine are hentai.
Octopus.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Tentacles.
yeah, the octopus tentacles part is what I was referring to. It's like, it's weird after a while, man.
After
No,
a
man,
while,
I
is
think
it?
that's
After
subjective.
a while, yeah. At least for
No,
me,
no, no, no. Really?
it's definitely
I
for
don't
me.
think it's weird because people have all kind of fantasies. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
anyway.
depends like how people want to view it. But coming back to anime and not so
Yeah,
And
much
also,
exactly.
not so
I'm
much of
also have my
hentai.
problem with
But oh,
hentai is
actually,
also the lack of representation of other anthropods and amphibians. It's problematic.
is it? Is it?
But yeah, go
No,
on.
I mean, if there was demand, there would definitely be other
Dude,
anthropods.
I can't believe why they won't be
So,
demand. Like
Yeah, like
there's
if you can
yeah,
fuck a
definitely
fucking
it's
octopus, I'm sure you can fuck an eel or a lobster or a crab or a fucking
ayo.
shark or whatever it is.
yeah,
I mean,
but
you
then I
know,
think it's just like too much effort for like the designers and the animators. Like I think like
Arey.
they'd really be overloaded with ideas and
Animals? Acha.
thoughts.
yeah, how this conversation escalated. It's just like
No,
unleashed.
no,
Yeah, this
this
is
hentai is an important part of anime, guys. You know what hentai means in Japanese? It just
what?
No, I
means
don't.
pervert. It just means pervert.
That's it?
And that's it. And then it became a whole genre because
Also,
people like
that's
it. I don't know.
so I think basically
So,
then like the pervert tag just gives them the freedom
yeah,
to put
yeah,
anything because it
exactly.
already says pervert. You're already
Like,
searching for
Exactly.
pervert.
So
like,
you know where
like
you are
I'm already
going.
there. I'm already
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like half the
Exactly.
Indian population probably doesn't know hentai means pervert. So they just
I'm
I'm
sure,
just pretty
man.
sure nobody knows.
nobody knows. I think it's only Shravani, like, and maybe like five other
No,
people
man.
that know that hentai means pervert.
Five other people, yeah, like the Comic Con people.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cosplay people and all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so coming back to like mainstream anime. Uh, so yeah, you were asking about my favorite anime.
correct.
Honestly, I don't want to choose one right now because there is such a vast library. But if I had to, I would choose Your Name, which is very mainstream. Everybody knows it,
Hmm.
loves it. Jatin has watched it, I
Yeah,
think.
that's the one you made me watch. Yeah, so I haven't
I
seen
made you
Death Note.
watch.
Yeah, Your Name. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one.
You forgot also what you watched. Very nice. Very nice.
I thought it was Death
So,
Note. I have it.
yeah, so very nice. Proud of you. So, anyway, so Your Name is such an amazing, it's a movie and it has got like a lot of worldwide recognition it got. And it took anime to like another level because if you look at the visuals, they are amazing, mesmerizing visuals. And anyway, a lot of anime has like good animation and like so much work goes into making one anime we can't even imagine, dude. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But this movie also has very good music. And I was just I before our conversations about music in anime, I never really gave a lot of attention to music as such when I
Yeah.
watched anime. But recently I started doing that, and it's mind blowing how invisible the music is, but it's still like it takes you to that world
It's
where
effective. Yeah.
it's so effective, so
Yeah.
effective. So Your Name ka music these guys have done. RADWIMPS, it's a rock band, Japanese rock band.
They've
Okay.
got a
And
beautiful song called Dada. I don't know. Then it can
okay, okay.
oh, yeah, dude, it's like it's a mad band. Like, there's a beautiful
Yeah,
song. Na, 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 na,
What's
na, na,
what's
na,
the name
na,
of
na.
the band again? Radwin.
RADWIMPS,
Radwimps.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
RADWIMPS. I remember I was taking like a bunch of tourists out as like a tourist guide in Bombay, and they were all like a lot of them were Japanese, some of them were Brits. And then I really struck a friendship with a guy, and I started asking him about the bands they listen to. And he's like, the only band I want you to listen to is a band called Radwimps
Yeah.
because they got crazy shit. And this was like a few years ago.
It's
And
crazy.
since then,
It's crazy.
I've been hooked on to Radwimps for a while.
So
Beautiful band.
Radwimps had a few tracks in the Your Name movie.
A lot of the whole thing is made like whole
Oh,
music they've only given to Your Name. And Akash, you should really watch it if you're like into RADWIMPS because it's amazing. The storyline, the visuals, and the music just you go crazy with. The whole thing is amazingly done. And
Yeah,
it's a so one thing about anime na, is that it's not just a storyline like a singular storyline. A lot of anime have very complex storylines,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they such varying subjects know about life and self discovery and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like it's really amazing how they weave the music with the storyline, and it all comes together so elegantly. It's amazing.
What are the other anime that you like? Like, say I was to ask you, not your favorite, but like your top three.
Top
So there will
3.
obviously be my
You know
name.
what
You know
I've
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And the
Death
other
Note
two?
is all-time favorite, dude. Like I cannot get enough of it, and I have not watched another anime as good as Death Note. Maybe I'm biased because it was my first anime, but it is so good. Like I cannot get over it. It's so good.
What else?
Okay, right now I'm watching. So I've got like a whole list, okay, which like is never ending, and I think I'm gonna keep watching all my life. But right now, I recently finished Steins Gate. Okay, Steins Gate is about time travel, and it's not linear time travel. It like you should watch it when you're high or something. Like you go crazier. Because Aaj Tak, I watched it like twice. Aaj Tak, I have no idea how they reached that point in the end. Okay, I have no idea. And if you keep track of the time, so what happens is there's this guy and like he made a time machine galti se, and
Galti
then
se?
he keeps galti se.
Okay.
They have like some science lab and like they're pretending to like make experiments and then galti
Okay.
se it happens.
Right.
And then they keep jumping time just to like undo some shit in the past. So there are like 7 people, and then just for the heck of it, they wanna like change something, and then they go back and they change it, and everything else also changes. Okay, and nobody remembers shit because your facts change, your memories change, and
Dude,
everything
this
changes.
this weirdly reminds me of which is that comedy movie where they sit in a jacuzzi and they get electrocuted and they time travel. It's this really stupid movie, but it's this movie where like it's like 4 dudes, like they're some weekend party. They're all in a jacuzzi having fun, and one of them like trips into the jacuzzi and some electrical appliance falls in. They all get like shocks,
Uh,
and then basically there's like some weird sparks and stuff, and then the next thing they remember is like they're like in the past. They're like 20 years in the past, and then they have a chance
oh
to
fuck.
like
Okay.
and then they're all like so one of them's like walking on the streets and you see someone with a cassette player, like like walking around with a cassette player, and like this guy is like, dude, what's wrong with you, like why are you with a cassette player? And then they're like, they're really surprised, and then he keeps walking around and he notices that things are like 20 years back. And then one of them
uh,
starts a record company and starts releasing all these killer songs like from the future, because he already knows those songs and he's like super rich. And like,
oh, that's a very good idea.
yeah, that it's
What is it called?
I think it's called Bathtub Time Machine or something. It's a hilarious movie, man. uh, but like what Shravani was saying, I also remember I sent one of y'all a link sometime back about how Inception was also inspired by
Paprika.
Ah,
Paprika, exactly, yeah,
yeah,
which is like an
yeah,
anime
yeah.
movie, and it had like the exact scenes of like those
Sequence,
dudes.
the sequence where like when Ellen Page is inside Leonard, either of them are inside his memory, and she goes to this big corridor and she touches the
Yeah.
big glass and the whole thing collapses. There's actually just Paprika's scene actually, and also like a
Yeah,
lot of
Shit,
hallway
dude.
scenes and
That's
stuff.
yeah,
But
the
that's
hallway
that's
scene, but that's
yeah, yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
it
It's of course.
is.
I mean, obviously Nolan did justice to that, but it was
But
more like
how,
inspired.
but how soon until like Bollywood starts picking up anime like movie
I
themes?
don't
Oh,
think a lot of
yeah.
Bollywood can do justice to anime. Like you need a Christopher
No,
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 Nolan's
no. It's
vision
dude,
too
to take a
forget,
complex.
dude,
to take an anime,
forget justice, bro. Story तो मिलेगा उसको. Like
bro.
justice तो दूर का बात है.
We we shat on
नहीं नहीं
a we
स्टोरी
shat on a
स्टोरी भी
story we
लैंड नहीं
stole.
करेगा.
Bollywood shat on a perfectly good story, right? When they took
Yeah.
Memento as Gajni, they took like a super complex, very very engaging movie, and they turned it into a fucking shit piece of like eventually like Gajni finds his killers, like his wife's killer, and he goes. Okay, that's exactly not the case with the Memento, right? Like Memento is
Yeah,
completely different from that. They
yeah.
Yeah.
took a concept and they shat over it completely. So I'm pretty sure even if they did Paprika or something like that, some idiot like Sajid Khan takes it, uh, he's gonna run with it and he's gonna fuck it up, and nobody will even give a fuck about it because I don't think he has the balls to do justice to it.
Probably.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just stupid.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll land with the audience also. I mean, our audience is not mature enough to
No,
like
I think
get this.
our audience can get through really long and complex plot lines like Gangs of Wasapur and all. So I think
That is because it's entertaining and relatable.
But we can also go through really long and engaging films like Mohabbat, man. I can't believe like
hum saath saath
Ah,
hai, hum saath
yeah,
I
saath.
yeah.
I had
Kabhi
bunked
Kushi Kabhi Gum.
I bunked college with a few friends and they said we go for a nice movie and like we I don't know like what happened but we entered like Mohabbat for like 4 freaking hours and I
Really, man.
it was weird, man.
Jimmy Shergill, Kim Sharma, and
And I watched the whole thing, like scene to see. I was watching it, and then that's when it struck me. All of a sudden, I was like, dude, college would have been better. Like, like lectures would have been better. At least I would have been a break to gone out, had some nimbu pani, met some people,
Wow, wow, wow.
come back into college. Mohabbat was dangerous, man. It was dead. That's when I came to know movies like can be bad for you also.
yeah, I
It's
felt
not
that I felt
necessary.
that I felt that at Hum Saath Saath Hai. My parents took me when I
Ah,
was a kid and all, and I was like, why am I
shit.
watching this? Like, my mom got really because it was like a family. We were like sort of grew up where in Kalyan, and there were like 2-3 cinema halls, and they would just show like random movies, and there were like two
Yeah,
movies, and we wanted to watch the Deep Blue Sea. And
yeah.
Ah.
my mom looked at the poster. She's like, no, we're not watching that. Like there was a shark on the poster, and she's like, no, that's not happening. So we have to go to the other movie. And I was like, dude, we get to watch movies once in a year. Like, can we not? Why do we have to watch Hum Saath Saath Hai? And we went and watched Hum Saath Saath Hai, and I was like, fuck. Throughout, I was like, ये क्या है? मतलब A B C D E F.
इतना हम लोग कैसे देखते थे यार? It was all movies were long, ना? ऐसे.
Yeah, Bollywood made it like a by default like 3.5 hours. Like
Yeah,
वो
like
क्या रहा है
normal
यार?
3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, man.
and when I came to know that there are movies for 1 hour also, I was like my life changed. Like
Ooh.
1.5 hours, bus. Like I used to think like that is the half, like when the credits are rolling. And be like, "Chal,
After
I'll,
interval.
I'll get some snacks and come. But अरे the hero died. कुछ बाकी ही नहीं है. And you'll be like, dude, खत्म हो गया. Like you have to go home, not to the kitchen. Like तू कहाँ जा रहा है? And I used to be like, oh fuck, ऐसा भी है ये.
So yeah, so you had. And I know Paprika is definitely one of them. I actually started watching it the other day. Uh,
Dude, where do
Yeah.
you watch anime films from? Like on net, like so. What's
Everywhere.
what's
Yeah.
like the legal aspect of anime? Do anime films like release in
Uh,
theaters or is it all like online?
Very rare in India. No, very rare in India. They do like very specific cities, but mostly you'll find them online also. And thank God for Netflix and Prime and all this stuff. Nahi to, before this, though, I used to watch illegally only. Everyone watched illegally only. Anime was not very accessible before. It's really only because of Netflix and they
So
got a lot
let's
of licenses.
so let's get into anime music. So Shravani definitely
Yes.
mentioned like the band that played most of the songs for Your Name.
Yeah.
What are some
There's
of
one
the
other
other famous groups?
Yeah, there's one other really famous composer called Joe Hisaishi. So maybe you guys have heard about Studio Ghibli and Miyazaki, no? I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of
There's
Studio.
these are like very famous anime studio called
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli. They're the ones who like got anime to the other parts of the world.
So it's just like one
And
studio that makes most of the killer anime films.
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. That's like the most famous one. Like
So
it
it's
was
not
not
like
the first.
it's not like a Dharma Productions kind of thing, right?
No man, such
Oh.
good quality content they make, dude. What, dude? that really hurt, man.
okay, so what is
Okay,
the name of the guy again?
Miyazaki,
No,
and
no,
he's
no,
made
no,
all these.
not Miyazaki. The
Sorry,
composer,
the
Hashish.
composer is Joe Hisaishi. Something
I could only
along
think
those
of
lines.
Hashish. So Hashishi. Okay.
Yeah, he's damn good. All these, you guys, I don't know, this Spirited Away and Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro, Howling Castle, Moving Castle, all these, most of Miyazaki films, music this guy has done. Very famous, very good music he makes, man. Fuck. I mean, that he's like legendary. He's not like SLS. Okay, and damn good music. One of the Though that's one, and one more very I don't remember the names, but so most of these new films that are really popular are made by this Cinco
What?
something. I don't remember
His
the
name
names.
is
The names are so difficult, man.
his name is Ryuichi Sakamoto.
No, not that guy.
Dude, you can't just make up things like that, man.
Anyway.
Okay. By the way, no.
Anyway.
This is not a made-up name. Oh, I have to take a detour because Ryuichi Sakamoto is one of the greatest film composers to have come out of Japan. You know the movie he has done the music for is Revenant.
Oh,
He's
Okay.
and his partnership, and this is for all the people who are listening. His partnership with a German electronic musician called Alva Noto. So there's like multiple tapes of Ryuichi Sakamoto and Alva Noto of atmospheric electronic music. Some of the best dope you can get on that stuff in the world. It is unbelievably good, and it's like a Japanese sort of with a German.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
all they need is like an Italian guy, and they'll like form the Axis powers again. But it's just
So,
mad.
like, does he play like some particular instrument, or it's all like?
Ryuichi Sakamoto is a classical pianist.
Okay.
He's an old classical pianist. Like
Okay.
he was one of the greats at
Yeah.
it. But now, like he's probably 65, 70 or something, and Alva Noto is in his 40s, and their partnership is just like Alva Noto's got these crazy beats. They sound a lot like your printer machines and like very urban Xerox machines. And Sakamoto is just doing atmospheric stuff on that, and it's unreal. It's unreal, and that's like a lot of that music was used. Yeah, a lot of that music was used to create this crazy atmospheric vibe in The Revenant. You know, like the sense of loneliness and how big the nature is, and all these things. They used Ryuichi Sakamoto's atmospheric tunes for that. There's a song I definitely recommend. It's like a 6-minute piece called Halo, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. But again,
that's amazing.
Japanese,
Yeah, I have like no
Because-
idea, so I'll definitely give it a listen.
Yeah, man.
What else on the anime side of things?
There's obviously Nujabes, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
We
I
spoke
mean,
about that.
I
So
discovered.
Akash, tell us more, like, because we've only mentioned this like a lot of times.
So the thing is not much is sort of like publicly sort of known about Nujabes except the stuff that you find on internet, and maybe like if you go to Japan and all, you'll be able to find a lot more. Interesting thing is I discovered the only cartoon that I watched, not the cartoon, the only anime that I watched was actually Samurai Champloo. And the reason I came to know of Samurai Champloo and sort of got intrigued by it, interested in it, is obviously by the music of Nujabes, which I found first. And because he's composed songs which he got and invited people over to rap on it and to sing over it. And the whole vibe of Samurai Champloo was to mix the history of Japan with the history of Japan with the aesthetic of hip hop. That's literally what Samurai Champloo does. Like even in the show itself, you're talking about 17th century Japan, but you actually get like these beatboxes and shit throughout the show. So it's damn cool that way. It's like it talks us to tell you the story about.
So Samurai Champloo is a movie, is a series.
It's a series. It's got 2 seasons, I think.
Okay.
And basically, the core concept is there are 2 samurais. Both of them sort of disgraced in a way. One of them is like a bandit. The other one is like, what is the word for it? The guys who used to be disgraced. There used to be a word for it. I don't know. Ronin. The other one is a Ronin, disgraced by his master, I think. And there's a girl, and she saves their lives, and then she sort of gets them into a pact to help her find a samurai who smells of sunflowers. Okay, and the whole show is them going from one part of Japan to another, in
search for that.
In search of the samurai, and these 2 guys helping the girl find a samurai who smells of sunflowers. So it's just like a beautiful journey. Think like Lord of the Rings, right? Like you actually out to find.
Do they find him?
I'm not gonna give everything away, right?
Spoiler alert.
Yes. However, throughout the show, there's this beautiful moments interspersed by Nujabes' music, and I know like internet is full of this content, but like the opening track is, according to me, like the best opening I have seen in any show, including the non-anime stuff. There's a song called Battle Cry by Nujabes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful beautiful animation running with some great rap.
Hmm.
There's obviously Arwarian dance, which I think
Yeah,
I've
that's
bombarded Jatin with it like a
that's a
million times.
classic.
Every
Yeah,
yeah, that's how I discovered that something like Samurai Champloo exists. There's
yeah.
a beautiful song which appears at the end of the like battle cry as the opening credit. At the end is a song called Shikino Uta by
Hmm.
a singer called Minmi, Minmi, something like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a song called Shikino Uta, and it's beautiful. It's like it's not a rap. It's
Yeah.
like it's sung by her, and it's gorgeous. So, and apart from that, obviously, like there's a lot of other stuff which features in the show and in multiple places. But Nujabes sort of got to compose the music for it, for a show completely sort of uh, had the music for it, and I think he did justice. Apart from that, I think what Nujabes is sort of known for is all these, what we today call is chilled out lo-fi music,
Ah, yeah.
is what Nujabes
Yeah.
brought to the fore.
Basically
In
pioneered that stuff, right? Like back in the day.
Yes, yes, because everybody was doing like boom bap, and like a lot of people
Mm.
also, I think, discovering trap in the early 2000s. But Nujabes was like just doing this laid back symphonic pieces, sometimes actually
Yeah,
inviting on musicians to play saxophone over his beats and stuff like that.
yeah,
So there's
yeah.
Yeah.
literally an album called Spiritual State, which is what it
Uh-huh.
is. And then there is, I think there's some other one is called Modal Life, and beautiful albums, and very laid back but very beautiful music. Like you can see that he's not just thinking from a hip hop angle. He's actually thinking
Mm.
as a piece of music. So that's, and obviously Nujabes died way too early. I think Nujabes was born on the same day as Jay Dilla,
Wow.
who's another great hip hop
So Nujabes
artist.
also has like this kind of myth and mystery behind his entire persona, right? Which makes it even more intriguing on the internet
Yes,
and
there
his
are
life
not
and
too
everything.
many
Yeah.
interviews of him. There are
There are
not too
no
many live.
interviews, there are no live performances. Like he was always known to
Oh,
be playing in like small clubs, and there are like very few people who have even interacted and met with him. He had like this completely
really?
obscure lifestyle. Yeah.
Mm.
So that just adds to like this whole, vibe of like Nujabes and his music, which is super
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
So
Akash, you
Very
were
cool.
talking about Jay Dilla.
no, I was talking about like how Nujabes and Jadil. I think I've spoken about it like once or twice before on the podcast. Like how they were sort of born on the same day,
Mm-hmm.
in
Hmm.
different parts of the world, and they died, I think, within a week of each other.
Whoa.
Wow.
Uh,
Really?
yeah. So Jay Dilla died obviously because of a rare blood disease, and Nujabes died in an accident. And they both sort of, in a way, pioneered very similar music, like low and like Jay Dilla obviously did like more hip hop than lo-fi, but
And then like
uh,
completely being unaware of each other also. I mean, both like
I
from
don't know if
different.
they were.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what I meant was like from different parts of the world.
yeah, for sure.
But like, somehow their music intertwining into
Mm.
uh, like this whole different genre and this whole different space of music making, which was low on
Yeah.
production
Yeah,
Mhm.
aesthetics and then just, specific instruments, and which is amazing. It just gives birth to this complete,
Yeah.
different approach, which is now like world famous as like lo-fi and chillax and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
super cool.
And there's another one that I started watching very recently. It's called Cowboy Bebop,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
got
That
a
is really interesting.
yes, and it has got like a crazy soundtrack in itself. It's also got, I think,
Mm-hmm.
it comes from the same studio as the as Samurai Champloo. So the idea is to sort
Hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
have an aesthetic and then run with it. And Cowboy Bebop is more on the lines of bebop by itself. Like it's jazz. It's a jazz
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
And Cowboy Bebop, from what I've seen so far, is like it's got more of a club vibe, like a 50s, 60s
Mm-hmm.
American, Southern American club. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole show obviously runs in space. So again, these guys
Oh,
like are really, the anime guys are really good at mixing two different aesthetics. Like
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Definitely.
his Japanese history with hip
Worlds,
hop.
different worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
like space and jazz. Like those sort
Mm-hmm.
of ideas sort of really come from there, and I think it's a very radical way of thinking,
Yeah.
because they're a developed country which is not too influenced by American pop culture in a way,
True.
and so they come up with their own ideas which are very different. So
Correct.
their
Correct.
pop culture is just like very
Yeah, I think that's
And a
that's
lot
the
of
all the jazz and hip hop are American ideas, but these guys are very good at sort of taking
putting
something
their
and
own flavor, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
yeah. I think that's a pretty important uh, specific point. I think like the whole Japanese thing is they just take what they
Yeah.
have and they don't really give a shit about if you're into it or if you're not into it. It's
Yeah,
just what it
absolutely.
is.
And you'll get to learn a lot about Japanese culture also from anime, because
Yeah,
they definitely like they're proudly incorporating a lot of small things into
correct.
it, irrespective of the audience, if they get it or not, they don't
Yeah,
care. So
yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah, even I
Uh,
have like this cousin who like watches a bunch of these anime, and actually even what is this, the recent BTS band, right?
No,
that's
yeah,
Korean.
that's
And a
Korean.
Korean,
Yes.
but like the point I was trying to make is like she's actually picked up on like bits of like Korean
Hmm.
and bits of like Japanese by actually watching and being
Ah,
so
yes,
obsessed with
yes.
like these shows, which is like super cool, man. Like that day she comes like and she was like talking in Korean and stuff, and I was like, "What's up? Like you taking classes?" And she's like, "No, I've just been like listening to this music like all the time, so I'm picking up on words and sentences."
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah, that's
"Okay,
really
man,
cool.
that's
And
impressive."
there's another one, right, from the like one of the pioneers of the whole style is Akira, the movie,
Yeah, Akira. Yes,
and
pretty
Yeah.
popular.
yes, and handmade like sketch style anime,
Mm-hmm.
super weird plot. Once you get into it, it's just like crazy, and probably one of the better soundtracks in the genre.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a wild soundtrack. I forgot the name of the person who did the soundtrack for it, but it's got some crazy chanting and percussions going on throughout
Right.
the
Yeah.
yeah. And I think Akira is sort of set for a remake, because like 2 or 3 years ago I heard Christopher Nolan was going to sort of helm like a live action Akira
Really?
thing.
Dude,
I heard that.
speaking of Akira, it reminded me of this really messed up Korean film called Oldboy. I
Of
don't know.
course.
Yeah, and that
What
got
is this?
so there it's this movie. It's got like a wild storyline. And the first time I saw it, I had no idea of like the storyline. And then towards the end,
It
I was
disturbs the fuck out of you.
yeah, it I was
Really?
like blown away. But I made the mistake of like of
Watching
reading up.
Zinda first.
No, forget Zinda, dude. Zinda, I don't want to watch only. But I saw like the Hollywood remake of it, which was by
Ah,
that
Josh
famous
Brolin.
actor Josh Brolin. But man, like that, it was so like talking more about so many of these really cool Korean movies, right? Like
mm,
just recently, people have been talking about Parasite and all of that. But if you actually like look back, they're supposed to be like some really really kick-ass like Korean movies. Like even Departed, for example, was like a remake of Internal Affairs, which was like I don't know
mm,
Japanese or a Korean film, and like probably like the world like like is not so exposed to like this whole cooler smaller world that's like this Japanese and anime and like me included like I know nothing about anime, but now I'm like I need to like watch some shit like because everyone else is totally enjoying like the anime side. I know like nothing about it, like to
Dude,
be like
Old Boy was fucking disturbing, man. I mean, it was
Old Boy
like
was very disturbing, man. And
I was like,
have you
fuck.
seen the Korean version though?
I'm talking about the Korean version only. Old
Yeah, the
Boy, the
Korean
Korean version.
version.
I
It
I
was
didn't watch the Josh Brolin. I really enjoyed what they did with the Hindi version also.
no, I haven't
It's a
seen the Hindi
it's
one.
very well made. I think. I mean, it's got songs and shit and stuff, and but I thought it was very well made. I mean,
Okay.
for back in 2005,
Who was
2006,
it? I think it was what John Abraham,
John Abraham and Sanjay Dutt.
and it's got who Anurag Kashyap directing it. Who directed it?
No, I think somebody else did it. I forgot who did it really. but I think it was well done. Like they sort of kept the. I mean, they did not go all the way like the movie Oldboy actually goes all the way into
Yeah,
showing some really messed up shit.
Mm.
yeah.
But they almost got there,
Not bad,
and
not bad.
they couldn't have shown certain things. I don't think they could have shown certain things
Mm.
in India. Honestly, people would have fucking killed the director. But man, what a movie, man!
Yeah,
Fuck, what a
it was
it's
insane. It really like messed me up. And then I used to read like these Reddit threads on like people used to talk about, dude, if you've seen Old Boy, then you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. And then I was like, dude, Old Boy itself was like, like it was almost like a limit for me. Like I don't want to get into like more twisted stuff.
yeah, apparently there's a lot of stuff like that, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw the devil is one. There is memories of murder, and there's a lot of stuff by these guys, which is just like thoda sa
Yeah.
like
So I think,
Disturbing.
yeah, I think like I don't know if I think we'll probably list out like whatever our favorite, whatever we have spoken about, obviously on the podcast, but things that
Yeah.
we think people should also like check out without getting their minds
Yes.
completely corrupted.
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, fuck, really.
What else are we looking at on the anime special?
I think we spoke like really long. I think there's no like.
I have no idea how long it's
I
been.
have no idea. Like we just got
That's
unlimited minutes. So. Acha.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea. Anyway, I think if you guys like, if anybody listening to this and want to get into anime, start like. I mean, depending on what kind of person you are, there are so many genres. But if you want to start like easy and like, because a lot of anime needs like patience and like, like not everything is like super exciting all the time. So
Is
if
there
you
like
want to
a
start,
lot
like
of
start slow.
is there like a lot of lovey-dovey stuff also on anime, or is it
Yeah.
mostly action and stuff?
No. All kinds of genres are there, dude.
You have
But
funny,
even
you
the
have comedy
lovey-dovey
also,
stuff.
what?
Yeah. Oh god, you guys should watch Food Wars.
Dude, I want to watch some comedy stuff.
Oh shit, watch Food Wars. It is so fucking funny. It's about food
I'm
and
gonna
these chefs and they're just cooking shit and they show it they're just making stuff, okay, like food. Normal.
Okay. Yeah.
Not normal fancy food, but the way it's shown now, the whole it's like they have some superpower of cooking and whatnot, and so every time somebody eats their food, like they get an orgasm and then they go into another world and it's crazy. It is so good and it's extremely funny.
Dude, I'm watching
Definitely
this. Where
watch
is it?
Food Wars.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
Where is it?
it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. Even the music for Food Wars is really good. I do not remember who did it though. But
Sure.
damn good. The whole concept is damn good.
So
So
yeah,
there are all kinds of genres, and whichever you're into, you'll find like the best anime for that genre, man. It is not limited by genre.
and anime is coming out from Japan only. So can someone from India make like an anime film? They can. Technically they
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could categorize it as anime.
It's
But-
like unless like I steal like an existing anime film, and then if I
Although I do think that the Mogli that we watched when some of us were growing up was actually an anime. It was a Japanese done cartoon.
what?
Really?
Yes.
The Jungle Book thing or Mowgli?
Jungle jungle baat chali hai pata chala hai.
Dude,
Was it?
that is a Hindi dubbed of the Disney
Anime
English
Jungle
of
one,
the
nah?
anime of the anime.
Of the anime, is it? Oh shit.
So you're saying there's a Jungle Book anime?
The one that we grew up watching, unless I'm really off the mark, is
Dude, I used to watch like a VCR cassette of like Jungle Book, which used to be like the original like Disney wala Jungle Book, like in English and stuff. So there was no
I
Jungle
am not
Jungle
talking
Pata
about the
Chala.
Disney wala Jungle Book, but the Jungle Book as a show that I think a lot of the people who grew up in 90s.
Dude, I also grew up in. Don't make it look like I grew up in the like 60s. Like I grew up the same time. I'm just saying, are you talking about the Jungle Book like which used to come on TV, like on DD or some other channel?
Yeah. I'm talking about that one.
Okay, that used to be a little different. I agree. That used to be different from like the original. So you're saying that was made with
The
like
Jungle Book 1989 series is an Italian-Japanese anime adaptation of Rudyard Kipling's original.
oh Interesting. Interesting.
Changuru Bokku
Oh, guys, have
Shonen
you-
Moguri. That's what it's called. It's an Italian-Japanese anime adaptation. The Jungle Book, it aired in 1989 and consists of the total of 52. Yes. It also has a... The series is a compromise between the original Mowgli stories and the Walt Disney version. So I think it was produced by... But it's not really produced by them either. But it's actually very interesting.
Dude, basically India didn't want to give license ka paisa to Disney, so they found someone and said, "Bhai log ek bana lo like hum log ke liye like."
Yeah, because
thoda
Mowgli doesn't look shit like an Indian village boy, which
Yeah.
is like which should look like you and me. I
True.
mean, Mowgli doesn't look like us. Like it's simple as that. Jungle, jungle, baat chali hai, pata chala. Yeah, like, yeah, dude. It's definitely. I mean, it's definitely anime.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I
That's
didn't know
mad.
about that.
I am pretty sure that even the Ramayana that we watched,
What,
Uh,
really?
The
Not
animated
the-
one.
No, Ramayana is
animated
too much, dude. Really?
Dude,
the
honestly,
Ramayana, the Legend of Prince Rama, is a Japanese traditional animation feature film directed and produced by Yugo Sako, and based on the Indian epic Ramayana, obviously.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
doubt this was the one that used to come in RTV. This must be
No,
like
this is the one we all watched actually. Like this used to be the
Hmm.
one that used to be telecasted. This is like a 2 hour long Ramayana, almost 2
So
hour long.
basically, I think the Japanese just had like the tech, like to make these cartoons on like high scale,
Ah,
and then people used to just probably be like, "यार बना दो, like bill बाद में भिजवा देना."
guys, you know how difficult it is to make it.
पहले
That's
release
why I think
करवा
they
दो.
got it made from them. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously like that has to be the reason because they had all the like tools and techniques.
Another important
Yeah.
thing about the Japanese Ramayana is the guy who voiced Ram. You gotta take a wild guess at who voiced Ram.
Was it a female? Because
No,
that
of
they do
course
all
not.
the time.
So it's an
I mean, I'm
Indian.
sure
No?
that
Okay.
It's an
no, it's not
Indian.
an Indian. It's an American. It's an American actor we all love.
Oh.
Whoa, what are you saying, bro?
It's
Is he still
it's
alive?
he's alive and kicking. And how? Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Really?
insane, dude.
Yeah, he voiced Ram.
That's insane.
What the fuck? Really?
You're goddamn right.
That's Mr. Yo, that's yo, Mr. White.
Yo, Mr. White, yo. But yeah, that's him. It's played by
Shit, that's insane,
Heisenberg.
man.
Heisenberg plays Ram.
That's some KBC 1 crore question vibe, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine Amitabh Bachchan goes like ask us.
अगला सवाल आपके सामने जापान वाली रामायण में राम
जापान
का
वाली-
translation- राम का वॉइस ओवर किसने किया था? ए ब्रैड पिट,
राम का किरदार.
राम का किरदार किसने निभाया? Yeah, dude, it was A. Heisenberg, B. Jesse, C. Tuco, या D. Saul. और आपका समय शुरू होता है अब. Yeah, dude,
Let's talk about the KBC's music, dude.
that's a
Dude, the
Fuck,
KBC
dude, I think-
music is that deserves another episode altogether.
ding ding ding.
Dude, but say what you want, it's pretty intense. Like it gets you in the mood. Da, da.
It's not the original music, na? It's from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The
Oh, it's
original
that
music.
one only. No,
Yes.
man, it's got a Indian vibe to it.
Vibe. Yeah.
What vibe to it? Like, come on, man.
No, it sounds like something that was played in like Yash Raj studio or something with like a.
I'm sure they played. I'm sure they recreated it in the Yash Raj studios and all, but I think it's a note by note rendition of recreation rather of the original Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing.
But that's exactly what makes it Indian, no? That is the Make in India vibe, man. It's so even if you take it note for note, but if it was performed here in Bharat Mata Ki, then it is ours. कौन बोलता है? It is not theirs. हमारा है.
I mean, fuck it. I'm
Justin
gonna
has
just
won this argument.
yeah. I think we will do a whole episode or series of episodes on stolen songs in India.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Stolen songs.
that would be very cool.
That would be amazing. There's just so many, man. Like it's insane.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Should we call it a?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We
So
call
think
it, call
it's
it an
been
episode.
long.
Yeah.
since
I have one last surprise for everybody
oh
on
shit.
on marking our end of season finale, whatever.
Of season 1.
Season
finale.
1, end of
Yeah,
finale of season 1. Okay,
let's do it.
I've been doing this while we talk. Okay,
Yeah, I was wondering.
Whoa.
you guys see?
Yeah,
It's
we
an
can.
anime version of us.
Dude, that
That
is
is,
Yeah.
dude, that
insane.
is
That is
ridiculous.
so cool. Wait, am
Can
I
you
the left?
recognize yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on.
Obviously.
Akash is the one on the right. I'm on the left.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm totally digging my vibe. Like, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
no?
I love
You
this
look
shit.
cooler than you look in real life, but
Yeah,
Of
I
course.
do. I do.
Please send it across to me.
Please send it.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it's
will.
gonna be. We should totally keep it on like the. We should
This is my
can
display
put it
picture
up.
forever. That is.
Yeah,
that
actually,
is-
Akash looks damn cool in this, like some superhero vibe he is having.
飛び出す貸してもらおうよ。こうまで、ワンタミが、してにかだ、わたまろ、ワンタマ。And yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I think that's the end. I think Akash
That-
basically said, "Have a nice
very
day."
nice.
Have a
Yes,
nice
sir.
week.
My Japanese,
See you guys
not so good. We will see you very soon.
next episode.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye, guys.